Any questions on your side? Any?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I've listened to the show before
Sure.
and read over
I'm so
the
sorry.
document.
Rhyme or free, it doesn't matter to me. It's my bad poetry. Good day, and welcome to My Bad Poetry, a podcast where we take a deep dive into our poems from youth, yesteryear, or even yesterday, always asking the question, why in the world did I write this? I'm Aaron.
And I'm Dave.
And today we have with us a pop punk loving, Diet Pepsi drinking, writer, editor, MFA director at Concordia in St. Paul. Yet, he lives in Louisville, Kentucky. Adam Shaw, welcome to My Bad Poetry.
Thank you. I'm so excited, moderately terrified to be here.
Well, we have to deep dive right into this conversation. Have you never heard of Diet Dr. Pepper?
I have.
That's infinitely better than Diet Pepsi?
So I love Diet Dr. Pepper. I'd say Diet Pepsi is my constant. Like I will always go back to it. I have forever.
Okay.
But sometimes when I'm feeling a little excitable, I'll go get a Diet Dr. Pepper. Or maybe a Sprite Zero on a more moderate day. Diet Pepsi is the go-to for the past, gosh, forever long ago.
I guess that's okay.
Yeah.
So Dr. Pepper's for living on the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When like Friday afternoon.
Gotta let
Yeah.
loose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pop for us thrill seekers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 Not anyone can crack one of those.
Oh no.
Speaking of pop, Adam Shaw, I don't know if you know this, but you were the guest editor for a pop punk anthology done by the Daily Drunk.
Yeah.
You accepted my first ever published poem.
I don't think I knew that it was your first.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. We had
I loved that poem.
Well, thank you. Yeah, no, it's really fun to write. Reagan Petrujo, one of our first guests, challenged us to try something, and I took her up on the challenge, and you accepted it. So thank you for that.
Yeah. I loved it. That anthology was so fun. Like,
Yeah.
like I feel like there's like, I don't know, when I pitched it to Daily Drunk, like there's kind of like there was like a self-serving element of it where I was like, I just want to read a bunch of pop punk stuff. Like that sounds like a blast. But then it was cool seeing the stuff that came in. I remember yours because it was the first time I had thought about a Microsoft Zune in like 20 years. Yeah.
I had that Zune until it died. And what I love about that anthology is looking back, LM Cole was also included. And
yeah.
So it was fun to have a future guest share the page. So
Yeah,
anyway,
very cool.
Yeah. Are you editing anything recently?
I am a creative nonfiction assistant creative nonfiction editor for Identity Theory.
Okay.
So I sporadically do stuff for them as it comes in. Yeah.
Now, what does Identity Theory work in?
So they're a literary journal that I don't want to say it's like the stuff that we accept publish is like fairly broad. Like it's not focused like the pop punk anthology was.
Sure.
Yeah, just like a really great collection of fiction, nonfiction, poetry. They've been doing a lot of great micros lately. I think they just wrapped up a call for like microfiction, and
Cool.
I can't remember how regularly they do those ones since I mostly do the nonfiction stuff for them. But they have some exciting stuff kind of always going on. They're worth a follow for sure on
Very cool.
social media and all that. Yeah.
Nice. Wow.
Nice. Good folks there.
That's awesome. What do you teach at MFA? Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at Concordia, I mostly do the workshop classes.
Okay.
It's a fun opportunity to dive into people's work and pretty low key. I really love it. It's a good opportunity to because I loved doing workshops when I was like doing my MFA. So it's kind of a fun opportunity to keep doing that. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Now that I assume that's entirely online.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It's all online, all asynchronous, a lot of like text-based discussions, that sort of thing.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Well, next time you pop up to St. Paul for any in-person meeting.
I've never been up there.
What?
I had a meeting today, and they asked if I was on campus, and I was like, no, I'm like 12 hours away. I, was like, I don't know how far it is to St. Paul. But I was like, you don't want to come to my office. It's a long walk. Like, but if I ever make it up there, yeah, I keep meaning to. I actually finished my MFA in April 2020, and I was intending to go to graduation, but that did not happen because it was April 2020.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then somehow it's been 4 years since then.
That's amazing.
What is time?
Well, Dave, why don't you bring us into the realm of bad poetry with whatever you have written for this week?
I have brought you a poem called Bliss. I sat in the hammock with shivers. Cold wind shot arrows from quivers. Rock in the breeze, reading with ease. Nothing better than a book and the process of liver.
Okay.
The silence is like big claps, right? That's what that means.
Yeah. It's
100%.
You guys suck.
You're taking shots of whiskey in a hammock?
Not shots of whiskey, but yeah, sipping on whiskey and reading my book.
Yeah.
Okay.
What more do you want from life?
No, that sounds pretty
A
great.
better poem, I think.
I was really proud of the fact that I actually found rhymes this time.
That was good.
I enjoyed the rhymes.
Yeah.
It gave me a nice. I mean this in a good way. It reminded me of like the stuff that I have a 5-year-old daughter. I read to her every night, and gave me some of those nice sing-songy vibes, which kind of feel resonates with the nice hammock vibes as well.
Yeah. Now, do you pronounce it with hammock or hammock? Because Dave is very much like the hammock. And
I wasn't going to bring this up. I have never heard hammock.
Yeah, right?
I'm only familiar with hammock.
Thank you. I think Dave is insane when he says it that way.
How often does an O make an I sound?
It's not
hammock?
No, it's well, okay. Yeah, you can go the ick route. Hammock. I mean, it's like a schwa gone.
You're a schwa gone wrong.
But it's not ock, man. It's just not.
Hammock. Hammock.
I've never heard hammock.
Yeah.
I'm also like living in Kentucky. I don't know if I'm a good person to chime in on pronunciation of anything. You know, like
That's fair.
I love it, but like I live in Louisville, which is not spelled like Louisville.
I mean, I've grown up in Minnesota and lived in Minnesota my whole life, so my opinions on those vowel pronunciations don't super matter.
Well, you have brought us into the realm of bad poetry, Dave, but now it's time to swing over. Swing over to you, Adam.
Yeah.
With this windowless room. Let's start with that.
Yeah. Oh man. You know, it's funny, Aaron. You mentioned after Dave's poem that you wanted to hear a better poem, and this is not it.
Ah, darn.
I disagree. These are probably better words.
Windowless room. A locked window, how can that be? Not a window in here, there's nothing to see. Somehow you see right through. Why is there a window for you? The walls of this room are black from hate. Hate from what? I wish I knew. Hate for having to hide from you. This windowless room, locked in, no place to go. These darkened walls, why do I feel this so? I can't escape, I'm locked right in, but you have this window, you see right in. I wish I could understand you as you somewhat understand me, but I have no window, I'll never be free. More of those silent claps.
Silent claps. Silent claps.
That last line needs to be screamed, I think. Like the muffled "I'll never be free."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I say this with love, Adam. This feels like emo goes Dr. Seuss.
I get, yeah.
It's trying to go hard with like
Yeah.
this like deep dark brooding, but
Yep.
the rhyme scheme just
Yep.
totally takes you out of it.
No.
Emo. I feel like Emo Goes Dr. Seuss is like some like cover album that's gonna come out in the next like
Oh yeah,
few years or something.
like how they've just done Disney Goes Pop
Oh
Punk.
yeah.
Yeah.
Those are some pretty good covers.
Yeah, I heard one of those. There was like a Newfound Glory one on that. But yeah,
Yeah.
this is not good like that is. Yeah, I don't entirely know why. So many questions.
That is the question.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
this?
Yeah. One thing that gets me about it, because I was thinking about this for the first time in 20 years earlier, was like even the title going from like windowless room, and then the first line is literally a window. So it's
Right.
I didn't even catch
it's
that.
not a windowless room. Like
No.
it doesn't even try to like pretend that it is.
Well, it's almost like you're trying to be mysterious because you say a locked room. How can that be? Not a window here. So it's like you're saying there's a locked window, but there isn't.
Yeah. It almost gives me the vibe of like, I don't remember what they're called, but the like mirrors in like interrogation rooms where it doesn't look like somebody can see in, but they can.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
I'd be giving myself too much credit if I said that's what I was going for, like originally. But because the entire thing goes with like there's a window, but there's not.
And someone can
Right.
see you, but you can't see them.
Yeah.
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 Okay. That kind of works.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
So you gave us just a little hint of when this was written. You said about 20 years ago. So where did you find this?
I wrote a date. It was written on, if I can find the page. I don't know if it was completely written, but it was dated on November 3rd of 2003.
Oh wow.
Whoa.
So
Okay.
a while back.
A while
Yeah.
ago.
But yeah, no, I can't remember what I was actually looking for one day, but I came across my old high school journal.
What
that
does
I
it
had-
look like? You must
It's
describe
wrapped
it.
in duct tape.
Oh,
There
yes.
you go.
That
I
is-
don't know how well you can see, but like I carved a little like face with like X's into the X's as the eyes.
No.
Of course
Really
you
fits
did.
the brooding tone which accompanies its pages.
That was
Mhm.
Blink 182's album cover, right? With the
They
X'd
did,
out-
yeah, they did that face
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot. Yeah. But yeah, I came across it, and it's actually it's been an interesting practice because there are some poems. Windowless Room did not experience this, but like some that at some point I went back in and just completely marked out.
Oh my
Oh, wow.
gosh.
I if I had to guess, when I got a little older and like reread it, like maybe in college or something, I was like, these can't exist. But Windowless Room didn't make the cut. Like it's still there, like
Yeah.
in all of its pages, in all of its glory. So
That
I hadn't sharpened my editing skills yet.
there you go. So you had the instinct to remove some of what you wrote.
Yeah,
This one made the cut.
this one made the cut.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I think based off of the date, I'm pretty sure this is a breakup poem. In that
Okay.
I was broken up with, maybe for writing things like this. And so like I don't know if that's like, because when it gets into the I wish I could understand you as you somewhat understand me, I don't know if there's like a whiny why did you break up with me?
Yeah. You're trapped in this love or emotion that you have for the other, and
Yeah.
yet they have moved beyond you, or they've left
Yeah.
you behind. Yeah.
Yeah. As someone who now has a child, if my daughter ever dated someone who wrote something like this, I'd be very concerned.
Right.
Oh yeah.
The vibes aren't quite what I like.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty reasonable concern to have, I think.
Yeah. Well, because even though like, but then it's like the walls are black from hate, and it's like, if that's so, like you should have broken up. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's not the kind of guy you wanna be with.
Yeah. Yeah, you got some toxic emotions here.
Yeah.
And then again, you do this fun thing where you're like, you put an image out there, a locked window. How can that be? The walls of this room are black with hate. Hate from what? I mean, like you try and paint a picture and then you immediately undercut it with like, you ask the question that we would just be asking, and
Yeah.
and you don't really answer it. In fact, you have I wish I knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hate from having to hide from you. I mean, it's
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's the right way to read it too. Hate from having to hide from you.
again, it's
bouncy.
so sing-songy. I
Yeah.
just
I do. I like the idea of like that's sing-songy, but then like just surprising at the end, like you said, Dave, with like just like the hardcore, like I'll never be free. Like just total contrast there.
Mhm.
The sing-songiness of it, that's because like it doesn't fit anything. Like it's just there.
I think you're ahead of your time.
Mm,
Because in recent years I've heard of something called baby metal.
okay.
It's Korean music where it's like schoolgirls screaming metal music.
Okay.
But like the lyrics are kind of cutesy,
Hmm.
but it's still them screaming. So I think you were just ahead of your time. You were trying
Yeah,
to invent a new genre without knowing.
but they did it a lot better than I did.
Yeah, no offense, but
Yeah,
probably.
no, 100%. There's no probably. Yeah,
fascinating.
that's a word for it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's Minnesota
Yeah.
nice for what the hell?
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. I want to move on from this poem. I'm not quite sure if I can find a way out
Through the window.
through the window,
But there's no window.
but there's no
But then
window.
it's locked. So you can't go like
But it's darkened. Or
yeah.
no, the
With
walls
hate.
with hate.
Hey,
Darkened walls.
but they can
But
see through
they
the
have a
window, so it can't be
window.
that.
My brain hurts.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's look at 26. Oh, I read this as tacos, but no.
No, it's not
I
tacos.
also misread it as tacos.
That would be cool. This is my childhood address, my childhood street address, Taos Court.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Still very brooding. Give this one a go. I just laugh at myself. I call this one in my head Adam loves alliteration or Adam adores alliteration.
Better.
But insane insecurities engulf the enclosed enemies as the scream for someone to stop the sword of sorrow from escaping the sinful scabbard. It is a facility free of formidable foes for the fallen, furious few who choose to fight for a freedom from falling into a blood-filled bay of burning and begging of the brave who battled and were banned since birth. A lockdown of loss leaves the lungs of the living as they long for a living life. Nothing but absolute abandonment.
So I'm assuming this was about a particularly bad Nerf dart fight.
I think so.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of the court. Yeah.
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 Why is this named after your childhood address?
I don't. So,
I mean, I don't know if
yeah.
this might be a therapy session, but
Right?
I don't.
I mean, my childhood had some hiccups, but
Sure.
like it was a little subdivision and, bus stop was right down the street, but there were no formidable foes for the fallen.
Oh, gosh.
No blood-filled bays.
Oh my gosh.
I think I was having a really bad day
You
in
think?
had learned about alliteration in English 11
Mm-hmm.
and just went all in
No.
with it.
That you did.
Because I feel even with like windowless room, there's something to parse out of it. Like
Yeah.
not something good. Like there's something you can try to grapple with. Is there a window? Is there not a window?
Yeah.
I don't I don't feel that way with this.
Yeah. It's like you're painting this picture by numbers, but I don't think the numbers add up.
Yeah.
It, what I love is, yeah, you clearly were just like, I'm going to do alliteration and no one will miss it because every stanza is its own letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for our dear listeners, the S stanza, the F stanza, the B stanza, the L stanza, and then absolute abandonment is the kind of a tail at the end there. So
Yeah. And I'm not sure why, like I did indent the last
yeah,
two there. So the first stanza, the last two lines were indented, and then three, and then two, and then two. And I don't know, I don't think that's a form that I would use purposefully or recognize.
in some ways it kind of offsets where you start because the as the and it is and into don't. But then when you start
Yeah.
facility foes and blood burning battled, by offsetting it, you kind of show that even more on the page that you're like, this is the B section.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I didn't realize that there it is kind of consistent within the stanzas, except the first one I got. The first one because there's the
Yeah.
insane insecurities engulf the enclosed enemies, and then it goes to the S's.
Yeah. I almost feel like that should be its own standalone
Right, like the
line.
last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need an enter between
Yeah.
enemies and as. And
Yeah.
yeah, then it would sandwich with the nothing but absolute abandonment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you're enclosed by enemies and yet you are absolutely abandoned. I suppose enemies don't have to count as company, but
Yeah.
Well, but the facility is free of formidable foes.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm trying to like. I'm trying to make sense of something here, but I don't think
Yeah.
there's like. I think it's just I'm gonna use descriptive words, really
Yeah.
crush the alliteration,
Yeah.
and someone will find something eventually.
Yeah. There are little nuggets that are a lot to chew on, not in a good way. Like the lockdown of loss leaves the lungs of the living as they long for a living life. Like they have a living life. So why are they longing for it? Because they are living? Unless they're
Right.
zombies.
but it's the lungs of the living. It's
Yeah,
not the
oh
lungs
yeah.
of the living
Yeah,
dead.
that's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
The lockdown of loss leaves the how is it locked down and yet leaves?
I wish I knew.
We've been in lockdowns before. I did not
Yeah.
leave the house for a while.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
As they long for
Well,
a living
and
life. Oh my gosh.
the lockdown leaves the lung. So is the lockdown, it's just an exhale? Is that
Oh,
So you've been
Sure.
holding your breath?
I guess.
And it's a long sigh
Yeah.
of longing?
Longing for a living life. Yeah.
Now, is this the same longing of the same fictional community company? I don't even know if it's a person or a people that is begging the brave. But what are
Oh.
they begging the brave of? Because that itself is kind of just a hanging thing where it's a blood-filled bay of burning and begging of the brave who battled and were banned since birth. Begging of the brave what?
Maybe it goes back to there was like loneliness or something somewhere, wasn't it? Like abandonment, like begging for companionship. I'm
Sure.
trying to pull something together.
I just believe this is a barometer of baby Adam's beliefs of balustrade. I couldn't come up with another
You
B.
had a run there.
I really ran out of steam.
Yeah.
This is a collective. No, I was gonna say.
I like when you make fun of my lack of alliteration.
I couldn't even get
and you
to
got
two.
Nothing.
A collection of contradictions, chaotically
Collapsing.
causing confusion.
Yeah.
Ha!
Correct.
That was good. Sorry, I felt that urge to just throw the collapsing in there. I got my alliteration just urge back.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like the taste of a Diet Dr. Pepper, and just couldn't stop myself.
It is a Friday. We're recording.
Yeah.
We live
man.
on the edge here. What I would suggest is taking this poem, and because it doesn't seem to matter what order these stanzas are in, it's not painting a picture that makes any sense. Going back and throwing other words at the wall until it's a full alphabet poem.
Ooh,
So every stanza is just these nonsense vignettes of chaos from A to Z.
Yeah. And then I'll submit that somewhere.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah. Good luck.
It'll be the fastest rejection. Just get ghosted.
Right.
This was another one that did not get crossed out.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a date on this one?
This was January 4th, but I don't have a year. But I'm gonna guess it would have been 2004, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how old was Adam in 2004?
Like 18. That's when I graduated high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, 18-year-old reflecting on their childhood home address.
Yeah.
And you write this.
I will say my senior year of high school, I did buy a copy of like a knockoff of Aragorn's sword from the Lord of the Rings.
You did.
So there was a sword at 26 times at this time. Everything else, no enemies. There wasn't a sinful scabbard. I mean, it might have been sinful.
Well, it was a knockoff. I mean, you're not buying.
That's true. Yeah, I bought it at the mall for like $90.
That's incredible.
I'm still trying to convince my wife that I need Gandalf's sword. I need it.
Yeah.
Glamdring?
I agree.
Glamdring, right?
Glamdring.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Okay. And then Aragorn's sword is sealed. It was broken. It was renamed.
It was the Shards of Narsil.
And then it was renamed to something that starts with an A, right?
I don't remember.
I don't remember at all.
Darn.
Dear listeners, I would like you to realize that there are 3 middle-aged, bespectacled men talking about the names of swords from Lord of the Rings. I just feel that pity in your heart for us right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we went down that road because that was about the only thing that makes sense from this, a sword and scabbard imagery here. Fascinating. Let's go to a different kind of nerdiness with this last one here. Algebraic hymn.
Yeah. All right. Mathematics. Faithless, hopeless, hates with a passion. Why is it here? Damn the cursed fraction that lurks throughout the year. Another number system. I thought there was one. Now numbers aren't real. They're imaginary to some. It's faithless, hopeless, like church without God. 5 times the square root of negative 24 multiplied by 3 times the square root of 18. Damn it, I'm done. That line is in all caps. I'm not going to yell it. A book of blood red, Bible of first hour, preacher of pain up front. I'll stay in the back and cower. Algebra's faithless, hopeless, Christless. Again, all caps, not going to yell it. I sit in my pew, third row from the end. No more will I sing the algebraic hymn.
Okay.
I still hate math. I'll put that. I can say it a lot better now.
So this tracks. This is great. No notes.
Yeah. I do feel like of the three, this one is a little more, it makes some kind of sense a little
You can
bit.
have fun with this one. This this captures like that student frustration.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are definitely some good stuff in this.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just doing some math quick.
Oh, okay.
I'll be back with you in a minute.
So I think there's Dave, you're going to have to correct me on this, but there's like a TikTok debate on like the colors of subjects in like lower generation, lower generations.
Lower generations, not like us proud millennials.
Younger generations apparently have very strong color associations with different subjects. Isn't math red?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, it was red for me, wasn't it? For you guys?
Yeah.
I've never associated colors with subjects. So when I saw that debate start to crop up online, I was like, this makes no sense to me. This is silly. But Adam, your poem here, A Book of Blood Red.
Yeah.
So
blood red.
You apparently agree.
I'm guessing that's the color of I'm guessing that was the color of the textbook.
Yeah, that would make
Yeah.
sense.
That makes sense.
The Bible of first hour. My math class, 9th grade year, was also first hour, and that was awful.
Not a good time for math.
No, it's like
I don't think there's any good time for math.
well, fair, but not the first hour of the day. You're still waking up.
Yep.
It's awful. Yeah. So that resonated with me. The minute you said Bible of first hour, I was like, I'm there.
Yeah.
So
Also, I know church services happen at multiple times, but a lot of times morning.
early morning.
Right away.
So
Yeah.
there's something there.
Dave, when's your service?
8:30.
Okay.
10.
Ours is 9:30. We're both
Terrible.
pastors, by the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That makes more sense for that.
Yeah. So you can really extract the full meaning from it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We picked
Really,
up
it
those
really
subtle
helps.
hints,
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
metaphors that you wove in there.
Yeah.
We picked those up. Yes.
So cleverly done. Yeah. I do think it's interesting that, because there is this whole thing about algebra is faithless, hopeless, Christless. And it's like, yeah, it's algebra class. Nobody's
Right.
saying that algebra is a religion. Maybe somebody somewhere is, but it's like I almost feel like the poem is trying to, I don't know, trying to break down the idea of algebra being a religion kind of thing, but that's not what algebra is, but it's also trying to establish that connection. I don't know.
Sure. When did you write this?
Let me see if this one has a date. It says January 4th.
So it came on
So
the
I'm
same
guessing
day as
2000.
Windowless? Oh, wait, not Windowless.
As 26 Taos Court.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
A
Same day.
productive, creative day.
There is there's one crossed out in between them.
Ooh.
Okay,
one
so
didn't
you
make the
wrote
cut.
3 poems, and of the 3, these 2 made the cut.
Good to know.
We're gonna leave that up.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Dave, have you solved? I know you're just waiting there.
Oh, well, no, I thought it was interesting because there's not really any algebra to do in that equation.
Oh,
Because there's no solving for x.
Yeah.
It's just solving straight through, so you have to do the imaginary number for a square root of a negative number. So there's an I in there, but beyond that, it's not really algebra.
Well, So funny thing now going back to the date with this one, this would have been my second time taking algebra because I failed it the
Ah,
first time.
Ah.
ah.
But that also means that I passed it the time I was writing this one. So I learned something, I guess.
There you go.
But I learned something, but that did not make it into the poem itself.
You didn't go back and write a poem about how much you love algebra now and how great it is, and
That'll make it into the. I'll work on a collection. I'll do that. I'll do the alphabet collection first,
Yes.
okay,
and then I
okay.
will follow that up. Once I give up, maybe I don't hear from anybody for a while. Move on to a new project, and then I'll go for the numbers instead. My daughter's in kindergarten right now, so my life is all like numbers, letters, all of that. So this
Right?
is really
Yeah.
maybe I could. I was gonna say maybe I could rope her into it, but no, absolutely.
So you said
Yeah.
that you probably didn't put anything that you had learned, but Dave just pointed out that the square root of a negative is imaginary, and you have there's imaginary to
Oh,
some right before
Yeah.
that. So you might have been dropping like a nice little Easter egg for
yeah.
folks who were taking math at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Look at you being clever.
Wow. Yeah. Makes me want to find like a current algebra student. Be like, look at this. And then they call the cops on me.
Right.
Like, this strange man gave me a poem.
Just take this to the math department and
Oh, yeah.
see what they have to say.
Yeah. That's way better. Yeah.
My favorite part about this is your declarative ending here. It's just I mean, it's poetic to the max, but it's like, no more will I sing the algebraic hymn.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's just
That's a word.
you can just feel that passion.
Yeah. I was really into my my emo era at this point. That never quite. I mean, a big shocker. I know, looking into these three, that I was a little emo kid. But yeah, I feel like I really nailed that tone at the end. Nailed the tone.
Well, these three are all unique in their own way. I do think this last one has the most potential. It's fun. It's fun in a very. In fact, J. Parr brought a sonnet that was condemning the sonnet. I think
Ooh.
that and this piece would be really fun together and kind of like a
Yeah.
students rebel type.
Yeah.
Yeah. They would
Dig it.
complement each other pretty well.
I mean, yeah, I'm proud of this one for like kind of making sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a nice bar to get to, The other two have some work to do before they
Some
get there.
is yeah. Some is generous.
Doing some heavy lifting.
Yeah. There's a lot to be done.
Yeah.
A nice thick marker might be the solution.
I mean, they missed the pass of the actual nice thick marker. Like,
No, okay. Can you show to that page there? That is only an X. Could you theoretically? Oh no, you lined it out and then X'd
Yeah.
it. You not.
Yeah.
That was to never be read again.
I can read lines.
Okay. We might need to have you back in like Adam's archaeological segment where you like take us through line by line, like figuring out by indentations and what's partially there, if we can piece together a poem, because that might be fun. But I feel like we have come to an end.
We must stop singing the hymn of your bad poetry.
Yeah. Well, Adam, this was really fun. But before we let you go, here at My Bad Poetry, we do end each week with the words of a true poet. So would you be willing to read for us another one of your poems, one that you are indeed very proud of?
Yeah, I would love to. I don't write much poetry anymore.
Sure.
I really peaked around the time of this journal. I just retired. But I have the closest that I have is like a single sentence, like creative nonfiction thing
Cool.
called
Cool.
You're Not Even the Dirtbag. It goes, I never planned on buying Wheatus tickets, but Coolio had just died, and I missed his last show like I'd missed my dad's last breath. Been there and walked away because I thought I could, or maybe because my legs were sore. And for some reason, not doing that to Wheatus, even though Wheatus showed no signs of dying, felt like the way to right those wrongs. A perfect ending, like Noel showing up with Iron Maiden tickets. Come with me Friday, don't say maybe, even though the show's on a Tuesday, and I don't know anything other than Teenage Dirtbag. Don't know if anyone else does either. But I told myself I'd listen to them more, even though I knew I wouldn't, because hell, I didn't even visit my dad more. And what's Wheatus's discography compared to not visiting your dying dad enough? The sort of thing that makes you feel like mold, makes you long for the part of the song where your lips start to shake because you arranged his funeral and settled his estate and sold his furniture. And lo and behold, someone should give a damn about all that, but no one does, because those things aren't that last visit you walked out on. Nothing is, not even the words to every song on Wheatus's set list, because you're not even the dirtbag after all. You're just the boyfriend everyone forgets about by the end of the second verse. You're just a dick.
Wow.
That was no silence applause there. That was amazing.
Wow.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It came from I had the poem CNF thing, whatever makes it pretty clear. It was I had this, I panic bought Wheatus tickets not long after Coolio died because
Sure.
I was at Riot Fest in Chicago and Coolio was about to go on and I left because I was tired because I'm old. And then I missed my last chance to see Coolio.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I was trying to, I feel like I weave some things together a little better.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was a great.
Thanks.
Adam, this was fun. I'm so glad we were able to make this work and you were willing to come
Likewise.
on our silly show.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to plug before we let you go?
I'll say that, doing nonfiction reading for identity theory, I'd encourage anyone to submit any CNF for, like I said, the micros have been that's been a thing. I think subs just closed for those not long ago, but they should be reopening if you follow them on social media or whatever. Yeah, submit to identity theory. They're good folks.
Cool.
We're good folks.
Very cool.
Very cool. This has been My Bad Poetry.
Now go write some of your own bad poetry.
And then you can use it to submit to the MFA program at Concordia. I'm sure you'll get in. It'll be great.
just say MVP sent you, and Adam will have no clue what that means. Rhyme free doesn't matter.